Welcome to a short briefing from Denmark. It's today, Thursday, the 30th of January 2014. And as you might have heard, the biggest energy company in Denmark, Goldman Sachs, has actually bought 19% of that today. And this decision was made in the government. And there has been a huge chaos going on in the government within the last week because people have not been they have not agreed upon this, and today actually one of the parties has withdrawn from the government since they couldn't agree to this agreement with Goldman Sachs. And this is just mirroring what is really going on in so-called democratic societies, because there's no democratic process in Denmark anymore. It's a pure dictatorship, and the people has nothing to say, and even politicians have very little to say because the government is really run by a few people. And what is very, very crucial, you can say, is actually when Goldman Sachs is buying into Denmark, you can say that actually means that Goldman Sachs is starting to govern Denmark, you can say, and they govern Denmark via the Bilderberg group. And this is really mirroring reality, because the Danish Prime Minister, Helle Thorning-Schmidt, she's a Bilderberg member since 2009. And then we have the Danish Finance Minister, Bjarne Corydon. He's a Bilderberg member since 2013 in London. And then we have the chairman of the board of Dong Energy, the biggest energy company in Denmark. He's called Fritz Schur, and he's also a Bilderberg member. And then he is actually the private friend of the NATO Secretary General, Anders Fogh Rasmussen, who is also a Bilderberger and used to be the Prime Minister of Denmark. So we can go on and on and on and on. Actually, the chairman of the parliament in Denmark, he's called Mogens Lykketoft. He's also a Bilderberg member. And, you know, this is truly a big, big game going on. And Goldman Sachs is also part of the Bilderberg group and so on. So this is truly a takeover of the biggest energy company that is going to happen. And in 2018, Dong Energy will be introduced to the stock market, you could say. And that means that most of Dong Energy will probably be sold out of Denmark in 2018. This is just illustrating the New World Order strategy, the New World Order agenda, which is pushing through very fast at the moment. It seems like, you can say, the enemy is very, very busy getting his hands on everything and controlling everything. And in 2007, actually, the former finance minister in Denmark, called Thor Pedersen, he was from the Liberal Party, you can say. He actually said that the energy company was not going to be sold out of Denmark, though they all actually agreed upon that in 2004. So he lied in plain sight, you can say. And then he said it was going to be like a people's thing, that they could buy like do you say stock, or how do you say? A people's stock, or I don't know how you call it. So actually the company would be owned by the people who has actually been building the value of it, you can say, through all the years. And at that time, the Danish Prime Minister and the board of the Dong Energy Company, they actually made the Rothschilds and Sons from London, the investment banker from London, the city of London, they were going to make this prospect about Dong Energy, how to introduce it to the stock exchange, since they actually wanted to do it in 2008 or 2009 and so on. But then the finance crisis came and they couldn't do it and so on. And it costed 100 million Danish kroner to have this prospect made. And, you know, this is truly a mirror of reality. This is just how the betrayal of humanity is going on. This is how the values, or how to say this, the things of value and so on, the companies, the national companies, the big state companies, are being sold out and are being sucked up by Goldman Sachs and other of these supranational elite companies and so on. And this makes me think much about George Orwell when he wrote the book Animal Farm, because in Animal Farm some are more equal than others. And this again reminds me of the Danish Prime Minister Helle Thorning-Schmidt, since she expressed in 2012 that the parliament and the royalty is above the people in Denmark. So that actually means that the Danish people are truly slaves. They are slaves for the parliament and for the royalty. And I encourage you to watch the video 1054, which I did in 2012. It's called Welcome to the City of the World Government, Wonderful Copenhagen, since it mirrors also a reality. Now this UN building is ready in Copenhagen. Ready for what? That is really the question. In 2009, Pope Benedict, he expressed that the world needs a world government with real teeth. What does he mean actually? And an economical body and a military body and so on. He was actually talking about the world government. He was talking about the world army. He was talking about everything. And then I encourage you to watch this video that I linked to in the video description about what can actually be observed, you can say, with end time, the end times also, when you look at Copenhagen from above and you see the patterns that are in the city and what you actually can how do you say, interpretate from that. This is an excellent video that I linked to. This is made by an American guy, and it's wonderful actually. So thank you for listening, and thank you for paying attention, since when Goldman Sachs is buying into your company, that means bye-bye, or bye-bye to your country actually. And now we just see the biggest energy company in Denmark will be slipping out of Denmark, and the prices will go up, higher energy prices, higher everything. And this will be the Danish people that will suffer very much from this. And this is just the dictatorship in plain sight we are actually observing. And it's amazing, truly. I have been warned about this, warning the politicians and ministers and the people in Denmark about this since 2007 with the energy company called Dung Energy. I've been writing letters for all the members of parliament and other people and so on, exposing these things and so on. We just see how dark it really is and how evil really works. And it's just lies, lies and lies all the time. So thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing, and thank you for caring. Take care out there. Bye bye.